G'day guys, this is actually a question my Year 10's asked me. It's about the elimination method, and I've gone through and I've solved it using the elimination method. Now you know from your little outline that we don't need to do that for this test. If you want to have a look at it, I suggest you have a look at that video and that will step you through how to do elimination. But given that it's simultaneous equations, the method of substitution will always work as well. So I thought I'd work through using substitution and just see if we get the same result or not. So stick with me and we'll see how we go. Alright, so here I really want to create a bit more space on the page. Give me a second here. There we go, that's a bit nice. I've got a bit more room here. Just to show you that we can get the same answer, and this way I can prove to you I'm not going up and looking at the other one. We don't need that. What's the first thing we're going to do? We're going to label our two equations. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. And I need to rearrange one of the equations so that one of the letters is on its own. It's called making it the subject. Obviously, the easiest one to rearrange here to get a letter on its own would be the second equation. I could get m on its own. Rearranging the first one, I'd end up with a fraction because I'd have to divide by 3 or divide by 4 at the end. It'd be messy. Let's rearrange this one to get m on its own. Obviously, that means I've got to do the inverse operation of subtracting 4n, which is to add 4n. So if I add 4n to each side, I've got m equals 4n plus 11. What's my next step? Once I've got the expression in terms of the other variable, what do? I substitute that into the other equation. So I'm going to say sub 4n plus 11 for the letter m in, and I refer back to the equations that I labeled because that makes my communication really clear. Communication is going to be really important for you guys. You're going to be doing external exams when you get to grade 11 and 12, which is really good because if you learn now the skills you're going to need, you're going to have a big advantage over everyone else it's all going to be brand new to. So there we go. We've got our expression there. Let's substitute it in. So instead of having 3m minus 4n equals 1, I've got 3, and where I was going to write m, I put in 4n plus 11. It's really important when you substitute that in that you do it in brackets because I'm going to need to distribute that 3. I'm going to have to multiply each bit. What's the rest of the equation? I've done the 3m part. I've replaced m. I've got minus 4n equals 1. Now we go ahead and solve. And I already alluded to what we'll do next, which is expand the brackets. So 3 times 4n, well that's 12n. 3 times 11, that's 33. Minus 4n equals 1. I now want to collect all my n's together. If I'm going to keep the n's all on that side, I might as well get rid of this 33 now as well. Let's get rid of that. I don't want that on the left hand side because that's where I'm collecting my variable. So simplifying the n's, 12n minus 4n, I must have 8n left over. And on the right hand side, well, this side 33 minus 33 cancels out. We chose that for a reason, that's good. 1 minus 33, negative 32. What's left to do? Well, I don't want 8n, do I? I just want to know n. Opposite of multiplying by 8, divide by 8. There we go. Oh, that made it nice and easy. So now on the left hand side I've got n, and on the right hand side negative 32 divided by 8. Well, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. How many 8s go into 32? You got it, 4. So I've solved for one variable. Am I finished? Got an answer. You know what? A lot of people in an exam stop there. They get to one answer and they think I'm done. But you know that's not our last step, is it? Once I've solved for one variable, substitute it into one of the original equations. Find the solution for the other variable. I'm going to continue up here just so you can see all the work in there still. So I'm going to say substitute, or let n equal negative 4 in, and I've got a choice of equations. I'm going to choose equation 2 because I've lost my cursor there so I can't really see where I'm pointing. If I turn it upside down I can see it. This one here, m is on its own there. If I've got to solve for m, that's going to be the easiest one. So I'm going to substitute it into equation number 2. Therefore, equation number 2 becomes, you just draw the arrow like that to show equation number 2 becomes, what does it become? M minus 4, and instead of n, again, when you substitute something and put it in brackets, I put in the number -4, and that equals 11. M, -4 by -4, and negative times a negative is a positive. Remember, this is equivalent to the previous line, so I can write that. Positive 16 equals 11. M plus 16 equals 11. What's the opposite of adding 16? Subtracting 16. I subtract 16 from each side. I'll write it in. I was almost not going to, but why wouldn't you? For a couple of extra seconds, it makes your working really clear. Keeps your mind clear exactly what you're doing. Oh yeah, I'm doing the same thing to each side. I'm subtracting 16. What do I get when I go 11 minus 16? -5. And then it's really nice if you can write a little statement at the end saying the solution is M equals -5 and N equals -4. How do we go? Do we match up with our other one? M equals -5, N equals -4. So it works both ways. That's good to know. Oh, you can't see the answer there. There it is, back again. I hope that helps. Keep up the great work. It's really good to see you've all realised this section is here and we're starting to get a few questions. If you do that throughout the whole year, you guys are going to get help with your maths as soon as you need it. You're going to improve a lot. Keep up the good work. Cheers.